the external was physically realizing that I had to transform my body. And when I spoke to Benny very early, we had both identified that Mark Kerr's body, when you go back and you Google him and you see him, he really had this, and it's not hyperbole, he had this really rare air, unicorn, athletic build of a man who was so dominant as a wrestler, and with all these fast twitch muscle fibers, that, and on top of that being a heavyweight, and on top of that being, at that time, was the greatest fighter on the planet. So his build was just, it's something that you just don't see. It's like this combination of a sprinter and a wrestler and just this incredible athlete. So Benny early said, you know, I don't know if you've ever been told this before, but I think you're gonna need to gain weight. And Tiff said,
I think you need, it's like, how do I say this? Puffier, like bigger. It was instantly, I totally get what you mean, and give me this amount of time.
I said, you need to give me some months, which we had and we prepared for. So that was physically, and then, of course, Kazuhiro, just an incredible prosthetics makeup artist who created the prosthetics, which I sat in a chair for about 3 or 4 hours every day. As we talked about backstage, it's 3 or 4 hours every day with a master who created the prosthetics, 3 or 4 hours every day to be subtle.
Yeah.
And the makeup and prosthetics were really subtle. And then there was the voice transformation, because Mark Kerr, he's this walking contradiction of, and for those of you who attend tonight, or you see it online, he'll come tonight and you'll see him. He's still a beast of a man. Beautiful human being, but he's so soft-spoken, and he's so kind and gentle and tender. And I worked with Liz Himmelstein, who was Emily's voice coach on Oppenheimer and a few others. Emily connected me with Liz, and it's fascinating because I had not gone through that process before of modulating and creating a different voice. And when you speak to Liz, she was amazing because she said something to me earlier on, and she goes, I'm going to say something to you, and if it registers to you, you can hold on to this as you build this character. She goes, you speak from the ground up, here, up, and out. I went, okay. She goes, Mark speaks from here, very soft. So think about that as you're talking, like, Mark, have it be from here, very soft. So there was that transformation too. And then of course internally, that was the biggest challenge. And that was the biggest challenge for me, to go there, and I understood what going there meant. And in order, when you guys see the film, there's fighting in the ring, which I worked very hard, training camp, MMA training camp, put on 30 pounds of muscle, but it's also a different kind of muscle. When you have to play Mark Kerr, the kind of muscle I had to put on was a different quality of muscle. I know that might sound weird, but it's like fast twitch, because you have to be able to move.
That's the sprinter's muscle.
Sprinter's muscle, yes. You have to be able to move in the ring and, you know, move with these guys. And so that was the physical part, but I think the internal part was the biggest challenge, because I knew where I and we had to go internally. And I want to take a moment to give Benny his flowers, because had it not been for Benny, yes. Really, had it not been for Benny, Emily and I wouldn't have been able to go where we went. And when you see the movie, you'll see. And Benny wanted to make a movie that was about life, that was about human vulnerability, and it was just raw and real. So I want to give Benny his flowers, but I want to give Emily her flowers too, because who is one of the greatest actors of our time, of all time, and also one of my best friends. Also checks in the mail. But also, you realize, and I realized very fast, in order to get to the place we went, in order to go to the places we were going to go to, you have to have love. And then you have to have trust. And the love and the trust then allows for we could not have done that without this love and trust and vulnerability that we have. And I want to thank you because you are the greatest. And I want to say thank you and thank you, Benny. Like you could see this core group come together, and we made this film from here, never thinking or being attached to what an outcome is or what the reaction is. And then we go to Venice, and that outcome happens, and you win the best director of all of Venice.